I had a really strong family. They cared every holiday, didn't matter what it was, family together. Just grew up kind of rambunctious, like little boys will do. A lot of times it was dad was drinking and he didn't like something that happened that day, or I made him mad or something like that. But I mean, it wasn't a natural routine thing. It was, you never know when it's going to happen kind of thing. I acted out more probably because of him and his bad habits and everything. My role model was my grandfather on my mom's side. When he passed away, I was still in the Army, so that one kind of hit me hard. He didn't really open up to me until I joined the Army. So there's a lot of times that I wish I had more time with him. I remember that day I was in high school and just walking down the hallway, and some kid come kind of running down the hallway and just screaming, "The plane went into the tower." And I thought this kid was on something. I don't know, the bell rang, walk right into the classroom and the TV's on, and World Trade Center had been hit, and it made me angry. I think that's where my true colors of patriotism came out. I mean, it just takes something to get you to that level. So I just fast-tracked as fast as I could to get out of here and just ran to the Army. I was the top of the line of my shooter for my group. I was the designated marksman for my own platoon. Long rifles, sniper rifles. When we go to war, we're there for a cause. But that cause, especially my war, turned into something that was just chaos. In Iraq, I lost 10 buddies, and the ones that I had left were all leaving or moving to a new duty station, so I didn't want to be there anymore. It always goes back to that brotherhood. It just makes the life easier, but once you lose it, puts you right back into the place where you were. You kind of lie to yourself in your own head and tell yourself that everything will be all right, and then that weight just keeps adding up and adding up until you hit rock bottom. I went through both my wars not scared. Left the wire, never feared one bit. I came home and I was scared that I was going to do something wrong here. Nothing goes the way your plans go. And that's the fact of that is, it's not your plan, it's God's plan. I met Becca at my going away party, and I seen her come downstairs, and there was just something about her. I tried every time I come home. Nope.
July of 2016, I was going out with some girlfriends. For the first time in 11 years, I finally gave him my phone number.
When she came along, just clicked.
I wanted him to be heard. I wanted him to feel comfortable talking to me about anything.
She'd cry for me. She didn't pressure me still with church. She knew my past. We came to church periodically. Then I met Ron. Ron is my father-in-law.
He has a great heart, because my daughter, Shelly, who's Rebecca's sister, and Ashley, the other sister, told us, that they really liked the guy. He just hit it off with the family.
Mainly, it was a lot of just seeing how much of a godly man he was. Seeing that was different. I was already on this forward motion, and he comes in my life, and it's a blessing, and just see that role model in my life compared to my actual father.
Every parent wants the best for their kids. As a part of that faithfulness, every parent prays for their children. We're no different. I journal. I'm sure that I go back in my journals, I could find some annotation where I prayed for that Dustin and Rebecca would be walking with the Lord, or that Dustin would be a little more sure of where he was spiritually, or definitely prayed that the demons that were making his life miserable because of his military experience or because of what happened in combat.
Every day got a little better. With Ron kind of chipping away at me dating Becca for the few years at that time, decided to get engaged. And Her sister Ashley referred Mark Montagna.
What I've discovered as a pastor and as a person is learning how to listen to people well can really impact their lives.
Thought I was going in for marriage counseling, and next thing I knew, I was understanding every aspect of my life with Christ and why I'm not such a bad guy after all.
There were times where I would engage with him or ask him a question or maybe even challenge him. I would suggest Bible readings or books for him to read, and he would then act. So it's, there was action that was taking place between the two of us, and I think between him and Becca.
Of all the bad things I've done, the chaoses of war, Mark made me think that life's okay and I can cope with what I have, and what I did and what I do now all has a purpose still.
To know him and to hear his story, especially his story as it relates to Iraq and Kuwait, and it's, even though I don't know that he recognized that Jesus was working in his life, the way he responds to his time in Afghanistan and how he would say fell in love with the country or the nation or the people, I think God was redeeming something in that, redeeming the negativity of the first half or the first part of his military career, and redeeming his life, his duty, the action, and some of the things that he was engaged in.
It's like when we were standing up there on the baptism, I leaned into Mark and I was like, I'm starting to feel something.
It was extraordinary. Those people that saw it in the sanctuary, there's no words for it. It just moved me.
As long as you believe in the faith, every day's a good day.
I think that's one of the reasons, or Dustin's life in lots of ways should be an encouragement to the church. You have Ron, you have Becca, you have myself, and you have other influences in Dustin's life. You never know how the God of the universe might use you.
If they spend enough time with him, they're going to see he's a new person.